The Iris Nebula, NGC 7023, is located 1,400 light-years away in the constellation Cephus. This magnitude 6.8 floral cloud of cosmic dust and gas is a reflection nebula, meaning it glows due to the scattering of light from its central star. The Iris Nebula was discovered by Sir William Herschel on October 18, 1794, and is 3.5 light-years across. The Iris Nebula is of particular interest to scientists because of its color. Reflection nebulae glow because they are made up of extremely tiny particles of solid matter, up to 10 or even 100 times smaller than dust particles on Earth. These particles diffuse the light around them, giving the nebula a second-hand glow that's typically bluish like our sky. While the Iris Nebula appears predominantly blue, it includes large filaments of deep red, indicating the presence of an unknown chemical compound, likely based on hydrocarbons. What is also striking about the Iris Nebula is that it appears to be surrounded by dark regions of cosmic dust, but its central star makes the nebula shine brightly through the dust. The central star, VP 380, is the primary source of the Iris Nebula's shape and color. At a surface temperature of 17,000 degrees Kelvin, VP 380 is hot enough to excite hydrogen atoms and push a reddish tint on the blue areas close to the star, thus giving the Iris Nebula its distinctive look.
Well, hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in once again. Well, as you already know, I got a chance to get out and photograph the Iris Nebula, and it's amazing how time flies. I was under the impression that I had shot this recently, like maybe within the last 2 months or so. And well, as it turned out, this is actually an image that I actually got out and acquired last December. Well, anyway, it was an image I originally had started on, and you know, as often happens, sometimes we start on an image and we get a little bit frustrated because things aren't quite to our satisfaction. And this was one of those particular times. So often what I do is, if I'm having a little trouble processing an image, I will kind of close it out, leave it alone for a while, and then come back with a clear head. And when I came back to it, I saw exactly how to process the image this time. This image was acquired with the ZWO 533MC Pro, and I was able to capture about 5 hours and 12 minutes of total exposure time on this particular target. And I think that served pretty well. Now, anyone that's ever tried to photograph the Iris Nebula knows that it has it's actually surrounded by dust clouds, and generally it takes quite a bit of exposure to really bring those out so that they're well defined. But in this particular case, 5 hours began to show some detail in the dust clouds that are surrounding it. We also have some dark dust trails also that are visible within that area. Now, I hope to be able to get out sometime soon and add some more data to the data that I already have, because I think it looks pretty promising at this point. Now, as you know, the core of the nebula, which is illuminated by a bright star, I believe it's VP 380. The core of the nebula is pretty well defined. It only requires maybe a few hours to actually bring that in and show some pretty good detail on the actual nebula, the core of the nebula itself. But the dust clouds require more exposure time. And as I said, I hope to be able to get more exposure time on that sometime in the future. Galaxy season is beginning to kind of fade out right now. So nebula season, which is my favorite, is coming up on us as I speak. Well, as you know, I acquire just about all of my images in my severely light polluted backyard, which is a Bortle 7, Bortle 8 area. I'm not too far from actually from the core of the city itself. So light pollution is just one of those things that I have to deal with. All right. I used the Optolong L Pro broadband filter to acquire the image. And as usual, it does a relatively good job. My exposure time was 3 minutes, and I was able to gather about 104 of them, as I said, for a total of about 5 hours and 12 minutes. And based on the amount of exposure time that I was able to accumulate, I'm relatively happy with the image. And I'd like to share that with you now. All right, that's about all I have for this video. And if you've enjoyed it, as always, don't hesitate to comment, like, and please subscribe. All right, until next time, and clear skies.